Hey guys, this is Ryan Joe still. This is going to be battle number 3 that we had yesterday in clan battles. I apologize for doing all of these successively. I unfortunately have to be at work relatively soon, so I was just trying to knock these out as quickly as possible so that they could download while I am at work. I have cheaper internet, so unfortunately I only have upload speeds of like 3 megabytes per second, so it's pretty darn slow. Takes quite some time. Alright, so this is the enemy team. As you can see, they have mostly ships people are familiar with. They have 2 rentals, still using the Shimikazes. We have people that are in ships that they're comfortable with. But here we go. It's the same map, opposite side. What are we going to do? Same game plan. Pile A, pester C, but keeping our group together. Now, let's talk about the Moskva. The higher up we get, it's likely we'll see more and more Moskvas. They have good armor. What makes their armor good? It's their deck armor and their front angle. If they're completely broadside, any cruiser, any battleship can citadel them. If he's completely nose on, any cruiser can overpin him, any battleship can overpin him. His nose is not going to stop your ship. If he's at a slight angle, they're all going to bounce. It's just how the Moskva's armor. It is tanky armor if you know how to angle yourself appropriately. Now with that said, that means don't be hesitant or scared of the Moskva. You can push him or pressure him, make him overextend, and get him in positions that he doesn't want to be. As battleshipy as he is, he's not a battleship. You can even citadel a Moskva in destroyers if you're close enough. You have to be like within 2 kilometers though. But it's totally possible. Again, I went through A on my way to C to cap A slightly faster. So helping with that, going straight to C. Notice also, I'm not using my speed boost right away. I don't need to. I'm going to beat them to it. I don't want to beat them so much to it that I scare a destroyer away before he gets in there. I want those destroyers to be baited in there because, again, I want those destroyers to be overextended at sea, snip them up, get out of there before the cruiser support shows up. Now, in one of our battles, I'm not sure if it's this one, I don't think it is, they didn't send destroyers to the other cap. They actually sent 2 cruisers there. And I had to run away. And I almost did, but unfortunately they snipped me right before I disappeared, which sucked for my team because that's a huge disadvantage to us. We had the first ship lost, they had 2 caps, so we had to go on the offensive. You can see Jeffsters highlighting the Shimikaze that's going that way. I'm going to help out a little bit, take a few shots before I get over there. He got hit by a torpedo, and I did very minimal damage, but some. Now you can see they have a line of destroyers coming towards the cap where I am going to, and they're not changing course. Not yet, at least. That makes me happy. It's pleasant for me to see that they have destroyers not supported by cruisers. If you look at the map though, you can see both the triangles pointing away. That means they're running away. Guess what that means to me as a cap? I'm going to chase them. I'm going to play it wisely though. I'm not going to chase them into their allies. I don't want to get focused by the cruisers, but I do want to at least take the entire focus of the destroyers. Because it's a mismatch. If their destroyers are shooting at me, they're not shooting at my battleship, putting torpedoes on my cruisers, they're shooting and torpedoing me. And they're being unsuccessful with it. If they're being unsuccessful with it, that means they're basically not doing anything. They're being useless for their team. by wasting all of their time and energy on me. I thought I got spotted in front of me, but it was actually beside me because that little island apparently isn't an island, and it always surprises me. Always get caught surprised with that. And the gearing is now in front of me, and the shimma's behind me. What am I going to do? I'm going to use my speed boost and focus on that gearing. Now that's one salvo, there's a second salvo. I'm slowing down and speeding up with my speed boost. That makes that possible to dodge those torps. Remember, turning isn't the only thing you can do to dodge torps. Changing your speed helps too. And not just slowing down, speeding back up. Remember that, because that's one of those great ways to dodge torpedoes. But now he doesn't have torpedoes, and I'm not going to let him get out of range. What is range for him? 5.9, except he's on fire, so that makes it larger. He's not going to escape me, he's dead. Especially now that I took his engine out as well. He's doing what he can do, he's shooting his main guns at me, but it's over. It's one of those mismatches that is advantageous to me and my team. We want to focus on that Shimakaze that's left. The Shimakaze that I was shooting at earlier, well, he died. So, remember, I may be going after their DD, but now I'm in range of their cruisers. So I'm a little hesitant to push too hard until I know exactly where he's at. I think that he's going to try and sneak C because that's the only way that they can win. So guess what I'm doing? I'm blocking C from him. I'm going to get him in no man's land between trying to cap C and trying to hurt my team that's piled in A. It's cutting them off, and now their cruisers are going to have to make a move. Guess what happens when their cruisers make a move? They get hit by our entire team that's together, cohesively. We don't even have to really combat them until they go around a corner. We're okay with the time running out. We have the caps. Remember, these are clan battles. You don't need to do damage to get your repairs paid for and all that jazz. You just gotta win. Guess what's happening? There's Shimikazes pushing my team instead of coming over here to C-cap. That's perfectly fine to us. Guess what? We're going to send a cruiser out and cut him off in front while I slowly cut him off in the back. And I'm also going to take a few shots and start tanking the cruisers as much as I can. If I get overwhelmed, I'm going to disengage. Look, I disengaged because that Moskva paid attention to me. We took 2 shots. Yeah, it hurt me. But guess what? I'm no longer detected. I'm fine. The Shimakaze got ousted by our cruiser that cut him off because we knew where he was going. We did a great job taking the people out that extended and spotting them. What were those? Destroyers. Destroyers have a huge tendency to overextend. They don't realize that they need support just like the cruisers do. If they go somewhere, they need someone beside them. Now this is a strategy that worked really well for us. Worked 60-70% of the time unless someone made a mistake. I made a few mistakes here and there that unfortunately I don't have an opportunity to share with you this time because I was going in order of the games. But there was one time where I got in a fight with 2 cruisers, tried to run away, didn't. There was a time where I took a Shimakaze torp because I was paying attention to shooting him rather than dodging the torp, and my focus kept switching back and forth between them instead of focusing mainly on one. Just like kind of here, I bent my heel too early. I'm on fire with 2 fires. I'm gonna die. I thought I'd send those torps out before I died just because, hey, if he turns into the cap, maybe I'll get lucky. It was a calm death. I knew the fires were coming. It happened. So I did what I could with the information I had. And you can see I'm watching my torpedoes because I want to see if they hit. They don't. I'll let you know right now, they don't. You'll notice the score. I tell my team, hey, just back off. There's 30 seconds left in the battle. If we don't die anymore, just let them live. We don't need to kill them. And that's what we do. We just wait for the score to go up because we had such an advantage. They didn't push, so they lost. We don't need to kill them to win. We need to put them in a position where they have to push, or they lose. Or they push and they lose because we're waiting for them to push. It's a very simple game plan. Now again, those torps, not a big fan of them. Don't shoot all your torps. Save one rack. Mind you, the time doesn't really make that matter, but it is good for future references. Hey, don't use all your torps. You don't need to hit someone with 10, 12 torps. You need to hit them with 2 or 3. I think the next one we'll lose, and I hope I'll be able to show you a loss real fast.